Hey, Joni here with Realty Executives in the Villages. Let's talk a little bit about moving day. So, your closing day, your big day is coming, whether you're buying or selling, and you want to make this as seamless and stress free as possible. And if you're like some of my awesome clients who have reached out to me in the past, kind of freaking out when this day comes, like, what do I do first? What's my next step? I want to help crunch it down for you, make it a little bit more seamless and just give you some baby steps that hopefully help when the big day comes. So, first of all, typically when you are under contract, whether you are selling your home or buying your home, your contract is probably going to be on average, if you're closing a home, for instance, in the Villages, it's probably going to be about 45 days. So, anywhere from 30 to 60 days, kind of 45 is going to be that sweet spot. So, just kind of plan on that. And when you factor in your 10 to 15 days for your inspection period, right around 4 weeks is going to be your normal time for closing. So let's just say we're at the 4 week mark and you need to get ready, for 4 weeks from now. So chances are you've probably already, if you're getting ready for this move, you've probably already downsized. Less is always more. We know that, getting rid of things, purging, taking things, off of your, out of your, out of your home. Don't be bringing your clutter into your new home. We all know that, right? But so chances are, here you are 4 weeks out. The biggest thing you want to do right now is just pack. Get your movers ready and pack. And you want to pack things that are not going to be needed. So, your living room, your kitchen, the big things you're not going to be using very often, and label them, give them color coded, whether it be pink for your living room, blue for your bedroom items, is going to be a lot easier on the other end 4 weeks from now when you don't have to figure out which is which. So if you want to make yourself a list, if you want to get really detail oriented, you can, itemize, make a whole list, number each box, what's inside of each one. But if at very least, all you do is just kind of color code so you know what room, what items are in each box. So again, just things that you will not need. 2 to 3 weeks before, you want to get all the contact infos of all of your utilities. Basically, anyone that you pay bills to, you want to make sure you have those contacts. You're not going to need them yet. You don't need to call. I had a client who, she told her lawn care service that she was moving 8 weeks out, and they canceled her service that very next day. And she was like, no, I didn't. She told the guy, and he told the office, and they ended up canceling her service. She was able to get it turned back on. But don't jump the gun. You don't need to call everybody, but just make a nice list of everybody that you pay bills to, so that come closing day, a couple days before, you might need to reach out to a couple of them, the important ones, like your electric, but just have everybody handy so that on moving day, it's going to be a lot easier. You're not going to have to scramble and figure out who you need to get in touch with. File your change of address. So you can do that this soon. So 10 days before is a great time. Go to the post office, change your address. So you can do that within the 2 to 3 week period. You want to notify your bank and any subscriptions that you have. So maybe you have magazine subscriptions, maybe you have, I don't know, an oil subscription, whatever subscriptions you have. Those are some things that maybe it's monthly, bi-monthly, you're not thinking about it all the time, but make sure that you notify them, let them know you're going to be canceling or changing your address. And then finally, in that 2 to 3 week period, you want to confirm your homeowner insurance. So get in touch with your homeowner insurance. Maybe you want to keep the same company and transfer it over. Maybe you can't. Maybe you don't realize that yet, that you can't. Your mortgage lender will help you with this step too if you're using a mortgage lender, but just make sure that you get in touch with your agent at your homeowner's insurance. 1 week before, you want to schedule your final walkthrough. So if you are the buyer, your agent will help you do this. You want to schedule that typically within 24 hours. If you and I are working together, it's going to be within that 24-hour window before you take possession. If sometimes other agents like to do it within 48 hours. It depends on the circumstance. I usually like to do it either that morning or the day before. Just leave as little time frame for weird stuff to happen, some random raccoon to break into the house and start living there. You never know, right? So the shorter time frame, the better. If you're the seller, make sure that you have it all tidied up, cleaned up. Plan on, if you're having a professional cleaner come in or whoever is helping you on moving day, just get that in order. Make sure that you do it before the buyers are going to be there to inspect. And you don't want to have any clutter, anything left. You don't want to have a random bag of trash somehow left behind. Be considerate. You want to think of it as, how would you want to walk into that home? So make sure that you figure that out 1 week before. You want to confirm your movers. So chances are you probably, booked your movers maybe 4 weeks ago. Hopefully you're not calling them right now, but just confirm with them, they're coming. This is the time they're coming. And maybe any last minute questions. Maybe you're not sure, do they wrap the, your pictures on the wall? I had one client who didn't really know. She had gone through everything with her movers, but there were a couple last minute details she wasn't sure about. So get in touch with them. Make sure that you are good to go, and it's going to make it smoother on their end too. The day before or the day of closing. So you want to, and by the way, back up a little bit within that 1 week. One really important thing that you want to do is pack and label any essentials. So you've already done the bulk of your packing, but I'm talking about medications, clothing that you're going to want to bring with you that day. So you have fresh underwear, whatever it is, make sure that you put a special label on that packaging so it doesn't accidentally end up with your movers. You might need to have that handy for yourself. Any of that last minute stuff, make sure that you kind of get that together. And then the day before might be the day you actually put it into the box or whatever you're bringing it over in. So day before and day of. So this is the very last step. You want to make sure that you have your ID and certified funds. So if you are the buyer, make sure that you have your certified funds. A lot of times you can get your wire transfer sent over a couple days before. You don't need to worry about scrambling and doing it day of closing. If you feel more comfortable doing your walkthrough first, you can definitely, there's a couple options, but you want to make sure that you have your funds all ready, so that it's not, you're not taking up all this time on closing day. Make sure that that's all in order. And again, bring your ID. If you are the seller, make sure that you have your bank information ready. The title company is going to coordinate that with you. So maybe it's a blank check. Maybe you call your bank and get your wire transfer information. Just have that handy because title is going to need that on that day. Review your closing docs. So chances are you've probably done this within 3 days before. So usually within 3 days before closing, whether you're buying or selling, the title company will have that all ready for you. You can go through that at closing if you have any questions. They probably won't have those final exact numbers until, again, within those 3 days. And day of closing, your title agent can sit down with you and go through all of that, any questions that you may have. And then day of closing, make sure you turn on the utilities, transfer it over. This can be done, like your electric and your gas or heat. You can do that a couple days before. It's actually ideal, give them a heads up, let them know, hey, I'm moving, there's going to be a new owner of the home, or I'm moving, I'm going to call you day of and have our deed transferred over. So usually just the seller needs to give that heads up, and then the buyer can call, and you're going to need to confirm on that day with the company. So I hope that helps. The idea is just make a plan. Don't freak out about it. It all will come into place. That's what your agent is here for. So your realtor is going to help you. I will help you every step of the way. The title company will help you every step of the way. And of course you have movers, cleaners, all these other people. It's just about doing it in bite-sized pieces, making a plan and sticking to it. And by the way, it's a good idea, this is from my personal experience, do something fun, do something that, make sure you carve out that time, as busy as you are, because trust me, I know this can be the busiest season of your life, is picking up your life and moving it somewhere else. But make sure that you put something in place that is going to help you to relieve that stress. Maybe it's working out, maybe it's walking. I know when my husband and I did a big move, one of our last big moves, I actually made myself do a 75-day challenge. So it was before we actually put our house on the market, and we ended up selling our house inside of 10 days. And, through that whole process of moving and everything, because closing took, I think it was around 30 days. But I made sure that I did something that was fun for me, that, I could take my mind off of the boxes and the phone calls and all those things that I had to do. Yes, I got them done, but I made sure that I wasn't a crazy person at the end of it. So I hope that helps. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have specific questions about your move. I'd love to help you. Maybe we can put a plan together in place. And I'm sure we'll talk soon. Have an amazing day. And feel free to message me or comment here. I'd love to hear your experience with your last move, or maybe some tips that you may have as well. Talk soon. Bye.